Here are some common errors that you could run into while you're graphing. So the first one I'm going to go to is when you're in your list, if you have one extra point in either your L1 or your L2, what will happen is when you go to graph it, you'll get the following error. It'll say error dimension mismatch. Check the size of the dimensions of the list or matrices. So let's go ahead and let's go back. If we go back to our stat enter and we go in and delete our stat. So if I hit delete here, or I can hit clear and just hit enter, and that doesn't clear, so I got to delete it. Okay. Now another common error is if you have two stat plots turned on. So if I have second y equals, say I have plot 2 turned on, and I have it on, and for some, say I want to display two images, and I have second L3 and then I have L4 in here, second L4, and if I hit enter and I go to graph it, it's going to give me an error because there is no dimensions in L3 and L4. So I can either turn L3 and L4 off, or I can put dimensions in L3 and L4. So I am going to go ahead and turn it off. I gotta get out of the quit first. Second y equals, and we'll go down and turn plot 2 to off, and then I can graph it and I don't get an error. Another common problem is if you are entering stat enter, if you are entering like a -3 and you put subtract 3 and hit enter, you will get an error, and that's a syntax error because you can't have a subtract. You could do 5 subtract 3, but you can't just do subtract 3. So if you go to the go to, it will take you to where your problem is, and it goes right to the subtract sign, and it says, and it tells you probably need to change that to a negative, and then if you hit enter, and now you can graph. Those are common problems. Another problem happens is if you do stat enter and you go up to L1, if I hit clear now, it will clear out everything in L1 if I hit clear entry. If I hit delete, it actually deletes L1 and it's not there anymore. So the way you get that back, basically what you did, you just archived it so nobody could change it. So you go stat, and you got to go back to the setup editor, which is number 5, and just hit enter. And when you go back to your stat list, your L1 has returned to you. So if you want to go up and delete it so nobody else can change it, you can do that, but most likely somebody, if they're using it, will want to come and put their L1, L2 there. Sometimes if we go to window, if your numbers are not within -10 and 10 for X min and between -10 and +10 for Y min and Y max, it will display it off the window and you won't see anything. Those are some of the major errors that people get. Just wanted to make you aware of them.